So guys, in this video series we are going to start a new full stack programming, which means with Python as well as React application. So most of my video series previously we saw only Express and Java, Node.js and all these things, right, with the as usual React and Angular. But in the upcoming series we are going to see React with Python. In case if we have time, we will see Angular with Python also. Okay. So for API design with the Python, we are using the framework called Flask. As usual, the database is going to be MySQL only. Okay. So the basic configuration that installing Python and then pip, which is the Python package manager, all these things I have configured in my system previously. So only thing is now I need to install the Flask. That is also I have done. So I can directly create my project. So in order to create the project, it will not take that much time. It is like one simple scratch file called main.py. So which is similarly like a simple Python file. That's it. Okay. So now we need to import the basic files or basic library that we need to use in our application. So I'm using the from the Flask library. I'm using the Flask JSONify request and JSON. JSONify is nothing but when you want to return the JSON response set. In the JavaScript, if you know, we have a method called JSON stringify. The same thing here we have the JSONify, and request is to process a request. JSON is also do the same thing, and Flask is the main actual library that we are going to create the API. Okay. So now we will create an object for this one. So I am using this variable called app equal to the Flask, the name here, and then here I need to mention the actual name. So this is the name. Okay. So this is the basic configuration for our application. Okay. Next one is I am going to create an API. So how to create API? App dot. We have to mention the okay. It is annotation. So app dot route. Okay, so here you need to mention the annotation. So here I'm just mentioning only the empty one. So whenever the request comes to us directly to our application, it will directly accept that request. Okay, in case if you are mentioning any endpoint, it will not allow, it will accept only this one. So below that I need to mention the function that we are going to create with our React with our Python. So here I will mention like get db data. Okay, so this is the name that I have mentioned here. I'm just mentioning a return. This will help you to get the response. Okay, this is I'm just showing how we have to create the API. If I run this application with the Python, it will give me the output of sample. Okay, but now as of now, what are we going to do? We are going to connect with our database. Okay, so for database, as we all know, whenever we are going to connect with the database, it should be with proper username and password and all these things, correct? Because without username and password, we cannot able to do it. So now I am going to add some basic necessary configurations. So as you can see here, this is nothing but I am just adding the library support for MySQL. Next one is I am going to add some MySQL configuration with the Flask configuration, which is nothing but like this actually here. Okay, so here host is localhost, which means to my local system. Root is the username, password is also empty, and the database is like a December 2023. Okay, so to this database only I am going to connect. Okay, now the last configuration is we are going to add this configuration to our MySQL. So which means we already have a MySQL, right? So for this one I'm just adding this one along with this configuration. That's it. Okay, so now this will make sure that connects with our MySQL. That's it. Okay, so now what I am going to do, I am going to create some connection with our DB. So like this. Okay, so this will help us to connect our MySQL DB with our Python application. So here I can mention like cursor or anything. Okay, so don't think this cursor is something different. This is just a database connections actually. That's it. Okay, so next one is we are going to execute this query. So we can say cursor, that previous object dot, there's a method called execute. Okay, here I need to mention the actual query. So generally we used to write that query, right? So here I need to mention select name. So this is the column which is available from the database. So from, I think the database name, the table name is going to be user actually here. Okay, so this is what about the table name that I am having, and as usual I am going to use cursor dot fetch all. Okay, what is this fetch all will do? This will take this takes all the record from the database. That's it. Okay, and I will store this data in the variable called result. It's all your wish. You can store it in wherever you want, but I'm using this result variable. Okay, so now I'm using a simple for loop to see the records. Okay, so I'll mention data in result. Okay, so colon. I'm using only print. I'm not using any other thing. Okay, print this one. So data. Okay, this will help us to just get the data from DB and print it in the console. And in the response, I will mention sample data base connection. That's it. Okay, save it. Step we need to add one more thing, which is called app dot. I think run should come. Yeah, this should be. I forgot it. Okay, so this will help us to run our application, but this should not run always. Whenever there is a main method, then only it has to run. So here I will add a name equal to. Sorry, it's a single quotes. I will mention main. Okay, so this will be added in our applications, and also I input a single. This is app, okay. Concatenate indentation is a must in the Python application. Okay, now let me run the application. I think this will work now. Super. Now it is working fine. So as it is get method, I can directly execute from the browser. 1 second, yes, yeah. So here I will mention localhost. The port number is 5000 slash. That's it. Okay, super. I'm getting error here. Let me run the application one more time. Go to the database. Let me refresh it. Okay, so as you can see here, I got the response here. But if you see the log of this application, you can clearly see these records are coming from the database. Okay, already I have added the data in the database. Maybe I will show you. So this is the data which you are seeing in the database MySQL. So the same thing I can get it in the console also. Okay, which means in the VS Code terminal. I'm just using the print. So this will help us to add it in. Now I am going to create a appropriate response in the browser also, because in the browser I couldn't able to see the actual thing is we should show the response in the browser, right? So here what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a one list here. Okay, so I can mention what I can mention DB, maybe I can mention data. Okay, so this is the list I'm creating. Okay, so now here I need to mention, okay, it's already there on data, so I should not use this one. What I can mention, so DB row I can mention a row, yeah, each row, that would be appropriate. So here I will mention data, this one dot append. There is a method called append. Okay, here I will mention name. Okay, this is the actual key that I am creating. This is the dictionary I am creating inside this one list. So name, and the next one is email, because this is the two column that I have written inside the query. If you see here, I am just using a name and email, right? So only I am creating on two key called name and email. Here I am going to mention row of 0. Why I am using row of 0, which is nothing but this one. This row is nothing but each row first index, which means 0th index. The same way I am using a row of 1, which is the first index actually. That's it. Okay, so now this will, whatever the data we are getting from the database, we created a list with the dictionary. Now we are using a JSONify. So what this JSONify will do, will create appropriate response from the list to our response. And also this JSONify will send the response header type as the JSON. Okay, so we don't need to worry about setting the header as it is JSON response. Okay, let's see whether it is working fine or not. I'm just, okay, compilation is done. Let me refresh it. Okay, as you can see here, I think we got the proper response. So whatever the record that we are having in our database, it is showing properly. That's it. Okay, so this is a simple API that I have created in our Python application with the Flask actually. But now the next step is, how are we going to integrate with our React application? So for this example, I have created a React application which is already available. So I don't want to create the new React application. So here I have created a simple function which is called API integration async. I think this and all most people know this React API integration. And whatever the URL that I have given in the browser, right, to get the response from the Python application, the same thing I have mentioned here also. HTTP localhost 5000 DB method as get, and let JSON avoid JSON. This and all most people know. Here I have created a state variable for the React application, and I have added the JSON. The last one is here I have added this this and all React code to load the data one by one. Here I am mentioning a name and email. That's it. Okay. So now I have already running my React application. Okay, let me show you how it works. So as you can see here, okay, one second. Yeah. So here you can see that Python response in the one window. In another tab, I am having a React application. So here by clicking this button, it will call my Python API. So I have created this button called API integration Python. If you see here, I have created a button called API integration Python. By calling this button, it will call the API method called API integration. It calls the exact URL whatever we have configured in the Python. If you see here the browser output, you can see this is a URL. That exact URL is getting triggered from our React application. Now once the response came, I am just binding the result in our React UI. So 1, 2, 3, let's get the result. Why? What is the API? Okay, so guys, there is a change in the URL, right? It is not the DB, because that is the one. Okay, let me go to the React application. I will remove this one. It's a direct URL, direct hit. So go to the React. Now it's the last 1, 2, 3. Definitely it will work. Yes, I got the response now. That's it. Okay, so that's it, guys. So now as you can see here, I got the response properly. So now whenever I am clicking on this button from the React application, it hits our Python. From the Python we are getting the data. Okay, so shall we do one thing? I am going to directly insert some record in this database. So I will mention like 28 March. Here also 28 March at gmail.com. Passwords, oh my god, password, some random password. Okay, I think password is not needed, right? Because anyway we are not returning this one. Okay, so now I have directly added the record. Click on this button one more time. Okay, super, it is working. So now whatever the record is available in the database, it is showing in our React application through our Python API. That's it. Okay, so in the upcoming series definitely we will see other things also, like CRUD operations, token generation, JWT token generation, and our authentication, authorization. All these things we are going to see in the upcoming series. This is a first tutorial that I have done with this Python. Definitely there is a lots of series will come. Maybe at the end we will see e-commerce application with our Python React also. Thank you.